What is going on, guys? So I'm sure all of you are probably fairly familiar with the other car that did end up coming out in the season pass, the new BMW M Hybrid V8. This thing is honestly pretty wild looking, dude, and before you say it, it is obviously in racing. Now for this car, if anyone is wondering as well, because I do know confusion can happen, it is currently only available in the season pass, but next week you will be able to buy this car unless you can get it now, to be honest. I don't know, but maybe it's available right now. I haven't even really looked. One thing I also want to mention, though, is there is another version of this car you can get if you do want to level up the entire timeline to level 10, guys. The exact same car is right here. It is just a different livery. It is part of the main stage leveling there, which is kind of odd, I gotta admit. Literally same car, different livery. Kind of weird. But besides that, though, probably not shocking. You can't add colors or liveries to it. Surprising. Probably not. You can also add wheels because you could totally make BBS wheels on a race car, bro. So at least if you are looking to change the option of the wheels on the car, it is at least a thing you can do. Am I right? Besides that, you really can't do much to it. Actually, let me go over to the vanities and see what we can do. Tires, smokes, nitros. So it looks like every single vanity item is available for the car. So at least you guys want to add some of those to it, you can. Not gonna lie, I don't really use vanities that much, dude. I don't really see a point. But let's go out and do a, outside look at this vehicle right now. I gotta admit, this thing is honestly pretty dope, dude. I really do like this car a lot. I know it's like Le Mans or whatever, which is absolutely insane. We actually have one of the cars in the game. Would have been cool to see like a super long race for the car on a new racetrack. But I'm losing my mind. Maybe somebody might make one in the track forge. Who knows? But either way, guys, outside look. I mean, it looks pretty dope. Let's go into the interior view, though, and check it out. So, it is obviously a race car, guys. Also, what's hilarious, you guys know, little picks on details here. When you turn the wheel, look how that entire thing moves in the middle. Look at that. Isn't that kind of funky? Look how it moves, bro. It's so funky. But you can't see all the buttons and stuff like that. Nice detail. Obviously, there's not a ton because it's a race car for one. But, I mean, it looks good. You can't see the detail of different things. Let's go drive it and see what it does for a top speed here. I do know a lot of players probably did end up driving this car because you have to in the Summit. And I would say a lot of people might end up liking this thing because I drove it. I was genuinely impressed, dude. And again, it's not a hypercar. So I feel like if it's not a hypercar, players would probably like it. But here, dude, just check out this handling too, bro. This thing feels so dang good on the road. I did change the pro settings a bit. I'll leave that at the end of the video if you'd like to try it out. But I admit, dude, this car actually feels really nice. Like, I do like the way it grips the road. It seems like it goes around the corners nicely. I like how the, overall body roll on it and stuff like that is. It does feel good. I admit that. Let's see. So 267-ish for a top speed run there. I would probably say, guys, it is probably on the side of being a bit generic, at least for the top speed anyway. We do... Whoa there, mister. That was a great lane change there, Tanker. Thank you so much for that. But I would say a lot of people might be like, oh, I mean, okay, so it's a competitive top speed. I'm sure this car is very usable. And it's probably up there with some of the better cars. You could easily run this thing in grand races if you actually play them. So at least the car is usable. Plus, a lot of players have been wanting something crazy like this. And I'm such a great driver, bro, aren't I? But you know what? Let me jump into a quick little race around the map here. Let's see. Map. Let me look around and find a good kind of speedy... I guess you could say type of race. That's dirt. That it can help me very much. Okay, so you know what? Maybe I'll end up going with this race. Let me fast travel to it here. I do like how it's kind of, tighter roads and stuff like that. I could test out the handling. Let me move this over. Go back and find the car that I'm going to use. Let me go back to racing. Where you at, race car? There we go. So I kind of figured with the setting of this race, it would kind of fit like a nice little atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? When I'm racing my BMW. You chill, bruh. My goodness, these AI are wild, dude. Let me not crash all the time. So about the car, though, because I'm getting distracted, which is kind of easy to do when the AI are kind of just wild, if you know what I'm saying. But, oh, look, this is the race with that really weird-looking shortcut. Let's off-road racing and see how it does. A nice little test here. You know, surprisingly, if you don't turn too much... yeah, it might be pretty good. So this thing can probably cut. And there we go. I love it. I love it. This is exactly what I was looking for, bro. I love it. Such great driving skill, am I right? Even though I don't really play this game a lot. So that's probably part of the reason why I don't drive as good as I used to. Because I don't play. That would have something to do with it. But I admit, guys, this car actually feels better than I thought it was going to feel. At first, I'm not going to lie, I kind of thought this car was going to be, like, almost generic in a way, or maybe it wasn't going to be all that great. Maybe they'd mess the handling up on it, or the car would feel kind of funky or something. But I admit, though, I do like the way this car feels. Cornering feels very good. This car actually feels planted. And barely any pro settings have been done to the vehicle. And I mean, I'm digging the way this car drives. Like, I do like it. Let me go into cockpit view. See how this looks. So I would probably say a lot of players won't be driving this thing in cockpit view. But it does look pretty cool. I admit that. I do like how this thing looks in cockpit view. Even though you can barely see anything, which is how some of these cars are. Imagine actually racing with how the cockpit views in these cars are, bro. Like, imagine doing, like, 200-something miles an hour down a racetrack in Le Mans when you could barely see stuff out of the vehicle. Isn't that kind of wild to think about, dude? Like, just seeing how these cars look. People go race these cars for 24 hours, bro, or, you know, at a very long time like that. It's just kind of wild for me to think about. I don't know, you know. Either way, though, I would probably say for a lot of players, if you are looking for, like, a new racing car or maybe something that's different, I think this car will probably impress a lot of players. And when people get it, they're like, okay, this is pretty dope. I like the way this car handles. And the funny part is, compared to a lot of other racing cars in the game, this one is probably actually usable, bro, which is probably a big plus, as some of the cars in the game don't exactly have the best balancing, as I mentioned in the golf video. So seeing something newer like this that can actually compete in grand racing and different things, it'll probably make a lot of people happy. Do let me know what y'all think about this car in the comments, bro. I am curious. Do you like this car? Do you prefer the golf over it? Yes, they are different, but part of the same drop. So maybe players might pick a specific one. I feel like players might use it. Hopefully they won't use the car for a little bit and then, you know, jump back into meta, which can probably be an issue with a lot of the newer cars that do tend to be releasing.